Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome back to Cannon Fodder, the channel for Arsenal fans all over this world. Welcome to the second live show of 2022. Oh my goodness, the time has literally flown by. We're on the third day of January, 3 days before my birthday. Ralph. Anyway.
Wow.
We're talking about it off here. But anyway, I think we're going to be kind of reviewing the action from the other day. You know, remember when that player did what he did there? And anyway, I've got my brother back with me, Raz. Ralph, actually, people have been asking me about your watch-alongs. When is your next watch-along?
I was just looking at the dates, actually, because we're in cup action, aren't we, against Liverpool on 2 legs, and Notts Forest. I think I might be able to be off for the Notts Forest one, but I will confirm with you later today. I've got my timetable up from work, which is the most advanced in terms of organization that I've been for a long time. So I'll be able to actually pick out the dates for the next watch along. I wish I could have done a watch along for Saturday's match. I got a feeling that maybe the reason why we didn't win was because I didn't do a watch along.
Yeah, we'll blame it on you, Ralph. We'll blame it on the boogie. All right, okay. So yeah, I guess we're going to be talking about that, everything that happened against Man City, and maybe some a little bit of a transfer news. Maybe transfer news. And you probably know that you'll see I've been doing getting back into the routine of doing pre-recorded transfer news videos, not more than 2 minutes. But I'll tell you what, there's no sign of VOR coming back anyway, is there? No, there isn't. Let's get into it on the other side of this music intro. We'll get into it, Ralph, don't worry. It's funny, you know, when we're in the green room, Ralph was saying, well, boy, this is different. It is different. I tell you what, Ralph, look at this side, it's a lot better than the other. I mean, there's so many bells and whistles, but yeah, give me some time to kind of get up to speed. I'll tell you one thing's for sure, I'm not going to be doing the green screen anymore. Whereas graphic stuff behind it is not going to happen anymore. I mean, you probably seen yesterday, guys, those who are watching now, yesterday I did some of the quirky bits, but no more green screen behind there, man. No, it's too much headache. Too much headache. But what you guys can do right back now, guys, is subscribe. Subscribe to Cannon Fodder TV. We've surpassed the 15,000 mark, Ralph. Was you aware of that, Ralph? Did you know?
Yeah, I saw it last week. Last week, when I went back into the channel, it had 15K on it. So you know what that means, don't you?
What does it mean?
It's something I did promise a long time ago, and I'm going to have to new year, new start. I would do this. I would put a competition up. Let's get our subscribers, our fans, our viewers back on site again. So I did say that I want to do a competition with the new kit. I know that we are really kind of how can I put it, in a difficult kind of situation with the powers that be that own the club, but I don't think we should penalize our subscribers because of that as well. Because if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be here. You know what
Absolutely.
I mean? So I think we should do a competition for a full kit. That means the top, the shorts and socks for male and female. So we have 2 sets of questions. So we can do that. I'll do the competition on my watch along.
I was just about to say that you can start off on your newest segment, the watch alongs.
Yeah.
That's my birthday on Thursday. But anyway, guys,
no pressure, bro. Thank you.
So I'm going to be, pinging questions to my brother because yesterday it wasn't difficult for me to give my thoughts on the match. Actually, it was quite simple because I said leading up to that, I'm not worried about the score. I'm more worried about how the players would play, and I thought they did very, very well, very, very well. So it wasn't difficult for me to talk about the match, but it might be a little bit tricky for my brother to navigate through this one, Ralph. So yeah, Ralph, take it away, man. Or do you want me to ask you a question, a specific question
Ask me a
first?
question because
Yeah.
I didn't see the match. I was at work, but there's a rather cheeky Liverpool fan at work, and when we talk, we have a really good banter. He's a really good guy, and I nickname him. His name is Buller. He knows who he is if he watches the program, the channel. And during our chat, he wanted to tell me the score. I said, "Don't tell me the score." So he kind of like held it back a little bit, which I appreciate. So when I did manage to get back, get indoors, I was annoyed, but I wasn't that too upset. It was only just watching the highlights, and that referee. I know we had a lot of chats, didn't we, Alex, on the group chat about yeah, that's one of the photos I sent. Oh my lord! I know, I know. On the chat, on the group chat, just for the subscribers or the viewers, we've got a group chat on WhatsApp, and I think Alex and I went to and fro with the fact about VAR and how you shouldn't rely on it. The referee, you shouldn't rely on the referees giving you decisions and all that kind of stuff. And I understand that. I get that. I said how, when you play away, don't expect anything. Don't expect anything because that's just the way it is. If you do get something, it's a bonus. But come on, what's the point of having this system if it's not fit for purpose? I don't think it's fit for purpose anymore. We used to have what was just as worse was having, if you remember, during the European ties, having some of the officials on the sidelines, and they couldn't see anything. It may be obvious to us, but they couldn't see anything because they're up with play. And I was fuming at that, and then all of a sudden, yeah, let's get VAR because VAR will make things easier. The technical advances for rugby, for cricket, and tennis are far more advanced than for this game, for football. How could those sports get it so right, American football as well, how come they can get it so right, and yet here we are with this thing that's meant to make referees' lives a lot easier, we get it so wrong, and we always seem to get it on the wrong side of us. Does the system pick up that if it's an Arsenal team, we don't get nothing? Don't give them anything because it's Arsenal. That's how I feel about it. I'm sure there's been quite a few remarks about VAR, and the things that we played so well at home against the team that is the top. It's the top team. When you're the top team, you do get a bit of the rub of the green, but it doesn't help if the referee gets in the way of a Martinelli shot and other controversial points that we know that we're going to put up. But yeah, it's. I don't want to say it is what it is because I think that's allowing the situation to fester. I think it's about time that why can't referees give their decisions or their opinions on a decision? You get it in rugby. On play, when play stopped, the referee tells both sides the reason for the decision. And you could argue about it, but then you have to take it. Why is it that we can't have that in football?
Ralph, but you've got to remember, VAR is still fairly new, isn't it? Compared to rugby, tennis, the technology is still quite new.
Yeah.
And but Ralph, it's not within our control, is it? As players, we said literally, we have been told when we were young, you've got to accept the referee's decision. A lot of the players nowadays, you see them, literally going around the referee and remonstrating with him. But at the end of the day, they've got the referee, they've got the linos, they've got the fourth official, they've got VAR, they've got people in the VAR box, and still they're arriving at the wrong decision. But what can we do, Ralph? There's nothing we can do, Ralph. There's nothing we can do.
No, there is.
It's not going to make it any better.
As fans, there's something we can do as fans. We just have to lobby. If you can set a petition to lobby all sorts of things, we can set up a petition to lobby this new technology that's meant to make things easier. Okay, if it's meant to make things easier, then get the right people in place. If
And
you've got, if
that's
you've
it,
got,
Ralph. That's it. That you've hit the nail on the head. Who made the refereeing decision? It was a human being. He may or may not have biases. Who's making decisions in the VAR box? It's humans. It's not the technology, Ralph. So it's the people behind it,
yeah,
officiating and using VAR. But
this may
again,
sound this may sound a bit flippant, but it's if okay, you're back in the day when we played football, Alex, no matter what the referee said, we abide by it
yeah,
because you have that kind of respect that the man in the middle is unbiased, he's impartial, he wants to make sure that the rules are obeyed on the pitch. But you can see that the rules are bent in a sense off the pitch by those people in those rooms. You know, who we don't know who they are. I mean, we probably do find out before the match who's officiating and everything else. There's nothing. There's no sanctioning if someone has an impartiality or they get something wrong. You should be allowed to challenge a decision. Years ago, with tennis, a famous American player used to abuse the umpires, John McEnroe, and look what happened. Technology had to lean in, had to lean. Before, back in the day, it was like that ball hit chalk dust. Well, and there was even a song about it. Now we've moved so much forward. I think, yeah, the technology is new, but at the same time, while it's new, it should be challenged. You shouldn't look at, for example, Tomiyasu when he had his face studied by one of his players. You can't be telling me that you can't see that. You can't be telling me that the implication of that kind of action is a red card. How come we can all see it, but the officials? You're in that room. You can take your time. You can rewind. You can rewind it. You can slow mo it. You can speed it up. You've got time. The fans and the paying fans just want the right decision. And to me, the best way to go about it is to say, you know what, we've had enough. If we're paying for the nose on terms of watching the match at home and going to the match, buying the drinks, buying the shirts, the programs. I'm a consumer. So at the end of the day, I don't like what you're doing. I'm going to argue about it until there's enough of us to put it right. And I think that's our right now.
okay. We move on, Ralph. So, Starboy scores a wonder goal. I didn't see the goal, so I was making our way back from our little trip away. And to be honest, I wasn't that much in a rush to get back home to watch the football. But I missed the goal. I saw the last 5 minutes of the first half, and during the halftime, they actually showed the build-up play to him scoring that really good goal there. He didn't whack it in; he placed it in the goal down to Edison's left-hand side. But yeah, Ralph, your thoughts on, again, the Wonder Boy just doing the business, man, just doing the business.
I'll tell you something. This young man. He was a boy before. He's a young man. I was watching a documentary actually last night about the Euros, England Euros, and obviously when he stepped up to take that penalty, of course my heart sank. Not just for him, but the other two members who missed the penalty. But to me, it's like this is his very much definitive season. He's grown up. And when he takes players on, if you notice, they double up. They put two defenders on him now. And I'm trying to think what the last match we played in the Premiership. But they were trying to kick lumps out. I think it's Norwich. They're trying to kick lumps out of him because they know he's that good. That's like a badge of honor, really. When you're that good, you have to take those kind of like blows. But he's such a talent. I'm so grateful that we've got him, and he's coming into his own as well. So yeah, lovely, lovely young man, grounded, humble. You know, he's the best of what Arsenal's doing at this moment in time.
Mm. Do you know, Ralph, there was actually, when we speak, sorry, what put on here? We were talking about the officiating, and what we did was I put a poll on yesterday on the platform, and it was: is it time that we saw or we see referees from other top leagues in Europe officiating in the Premier League? Do you think that would kind of quash the feel of a conspiracy against Arsenal, Ralph? Having referees from maybe Italy, Spain, refereeing in the Premier League. Do you think that would work?
I think that was a really valid point. I think you pulled this up about a couple of years ago, if
I
my
did.
memory is right.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago, we talked about it. I don't see what harm it could do. We've got foreign players playing in the Premiership, so why not have a foreign referee, a foreign linesman?
Mm.
This is meant to be, the Premiership is meant to be the best, Premiership showcasing of the Premiership around the world. You get people from around the world watching top matches. So why not get the top officials in?
Mm. Mm.
And maybe it may give a kick up the rear end to our own referees as well, when they understand, actually, I know that I've got to officiate between Barcelona and Real Madrid for the weekend. You know what I mean? So I've got to get it right. Why not?
So let me just look in the poll and see what the feeling is. Again, it's not a general poll. It's for, of course, the subscribers, the followers on Facebook as well as on Twitter. So again, we ask the question: do we need referees from other European top leagues? Choose only one. It's just a straight yes or no. So out of the 709 votes, guys, again, wonderful stuff. We've got 2 comments and 31 likes. 14% of the Cannon Fodder family or community thinks that no, we don't need to see European referees, and 86% believe that yes, we do. It's about time to have referees from European leagues officiating in the Premier League. Well, I mean, do you remember, Ralph? Actually, it happened in cricket as well, but this happened at an international level. People were thinking there's some biasness there, but now you see, referees from different countries officiating in Test all over the world. So
it's the same in rugby. It's the same in rugby with nations. You can have England versus Wales, for example, but you have a Scottish ref. I think I'm not sure. I think in the internationals, the winter internationals, they have like the refs from the southern areas, well, Australia, South Africa, and New Zealand. So why not? Why not? At least I think from we're still going to argue, because that's human nature. You know what I mean? We're still going to argue. We're still going to say, that referee doesn't understand the Premiership and blah blah blah. But I think in a sense of neutrality, hopefully, if it may just dampen the fire a bit with some of the wrong decisions, and like I said before, it may make those in the studio who do look at VAR have the conversation with the referees more, so then the play is not too interrupted. If it is interrupted, it's interrupted for a good reason, rather than just the fact that the referee gets in the way or spoils the match. And I remember you said once upon a time that the best referees are the ones that you don't see or hear. You know what I mean? They're the ones that just let the play, and then when they officiate in the right way, you don't really care really, because you want to play, and that's how it should be.
Well said. So Shinky winning the star. So we spoke about the star boy, and then Ralph. So this was another controversial incident or moment. Ellison and Erdegaard, Ralph.
What do you want me to say?
Ralph, your thoughts?
Oh man. Well, you know what? I got out of my seat when I saw this. And even the commentator was saying, "Oh, well, surely he's got to give it." And I'm thinking, we've seen penalties given for worse. You know, the goalkeeper touches Odegaard. There's just I don't care if it's a millimeter or half a foot. At the end of the day, it's contact. The goalkeeper goes through him. It's contact. If remember, Alex, handball. Handball used to be the ball. Your hand hitting the ball. That is handball. Up to your arm, up to your shoulder. It's still handball, regardless. Contact in the box. Now, if you want to put the flip side to it, when I saw Xhaka holding what's his name shirt, that I didn't argue that, because as soon as you're in the box, that is it. Excuse me. When you're in the box, if when you're in the box, if you're tugging a shirt, quite rightly you can go down, and you've given the referee no real big decision, because you tugged the shirt. It's one of those things that you understand. Outside the box, it's an infringement. It's a free kick. Inside the box, it's a penalty. And the thing is that he didn't give it, but he was told to have a look at it. How comes he wasn't told to have a look at Odegaard's one?
Do you know what's a bit of a giveaway for me, Ralph? When I knew it was going to be given as a penalty, because he had, like, the referee had waved, no, get up, it's not a penalty.
Yeah.
But when you saw VAR repeating it, actually, the live stream I was watching, they repeated it minimum at least 15 times, Ralph, from different angles. I thought, all right, okay, so they're forcing the issue, and they're wanting the referee, whether he from his own volition, or or they told him, no, you need to go and look at it. I thought, they're going to give it as a penalty, because they repeated it so many times. So, Ralph, quick question. So, was it a penalty for you? Was it a penalty?
Xhaka's. Yeah. Because listen, to me, referees have got a red flag on Xhaka anyway. Let's just put that out there. I don't care if there's a person getting on Twitter saying how Xhaka's going to get blamed for it. Yeah, he's going to get blamed for it, because he's the last man. His hand is on the defender's shirt. There's no knowing if Ramsdale could have stopped the shot, or the defender in the middle may have been able to have got a block in, or whatever it was. It was quite it's just one of those imponderables. We don't know. We're not going to know. But when you give the referee a clear indicator that you're not only you're marking your man, but you got his shirt and it's in the box, he's got to give it, Alex. He's got to give it, even if the referee says initially no, just get up. To me, I was thinking, well, great, he's not giving it. My man went down early. But when you get the notification in your ear, have a look, and he's looking and thinking, oh, you know what, actually, I've given it. Now, what would have been interesting would have been if they had that penalty first, and Odegaard's was to be later on, would he have given us a penalty then? I don't think he would have. I think he was still kept on the same. VAR would have just said, no, it's all right. It's no decision here. He wouldn't. I don't think the referee would have given it, Alex. I don't think the referee would have given it if it was later in the match. Nah.
Yeah, and then because actually that came this happened first, didn't it? When
Yeah,
Gabriel got sent off
yeah,
for a second bookable offence, and then the penalty.
yeah,
Gabriel a little bit hot-headed, and him making that well, what was it? It was a block, wasn't it? I think
yeah,
just inside the halfway line.
yeah,
I was thinking, well, last season he was making those rash tackles a lot, and he kind of, that kind of phased out in his game, and then he got a little bit hot-headed, and he did the same thing again, down to 10 men. And I thought, Ralph, actually, that even though we were down to 10 men, that we played quite well, down to 10 men.
yeah, yeah. We run Man City. I think Man City, when they were on the bus, they must have thought, flipping hell, guys, we got away with that one.
Mm,
Because from what I saw from Arsenal just did not die down. They didn't, before we'll capitulate.
yeah.
You know what, 2, 3, 4 goals, and that would been it. But to keep on fighting as they did, it does show that the team has got that. First and foremost, the team is playing for Arteta. I know he wasn't there because he tested positive, but the team's playing. The team's playing for him, and I was watching. His name's Steve, isn't it?
Who
If I
that?
get his first name correct, the guy who coached the team on Saturday.
Yeah, yeah,
He,
I believe so. Yeah.
I saw it after the post match interview, and you can see, like, when he starts talking about the official, I was thinking, yes. Normally, referees just say, you know what, or not, managers, they normally would say, like, oh, you know what, it was this, it was that. They have to be very careful what they say, because of course it can come back at them. But my man Steve, he called it for what it was. You know what I mean? And even Pep, was quite agreeable. The fact that he know that his team was quite lucky as well. But boy, the team played well. They deserve more. They deserve
And
more.
that's what I tried to focus on the way that they played. I think their attitude and mentality will take them a lot further than that one result there. Listen, the team is still gelling. They're still gelling. They've still got a long way to go before they can actually we can say that they're mature together. But the signs are quite bright. I wouldn't say it's progress just yet. I want to see where Arsenal end up at the end of the season, because
Yeah,
you,
yeah.
you know what we're like, Ralph. We say, oh, there's been some progress, and then end of the season, if we end up in 8th, what are people going to say? Oh, there's no progress. So let's wait
Yeah.
and see, where Arsenal are at the end of the season, and look the highlights of the season. But it still seems like the youngsters are still doing the business, Ralph. Still doing the business. Your
They
thoughts on
are.
that, Ralph? Sorry.
Well, we'll just finish off on that last point you're saying about Gabriel.
Mm.
This is the thing now, when you're learning about pressure, is how to contain it and how to hold yourself in certain key moments. And that was a key moment. I think if we still had 11 players on the pitch, maybe it still would have been the same result. But I think Lacazette now and the rest of the team have to understand, you know what, we play with this kind of intensity, but let's make sure that if a situation like this comes up again, that we walk away. There's nothing to be gained by getting hot-headed, because the way Gabriel took that man down it's almost like he was playing American football, to be honest. He put his hands up to say, like, he went him up, but I was saying to you as well on the chat that, when you're playing dark arts, the first rule is that you don't get caught. You don't get caught, man. El will tell you the same thing. If you're going to apply any kind of dark arts, you don't get caught. And he could have just run alongside him and just shoulder barged him. If he shoulder barged him, but the ref, again, I'm going back to the referee. Oh my God! The referee has to. again have a bit of nous. You know, he could have spoken to him. I think from what I've observed, he seemed to have talked to more of the Man City players than the Arsenal players. Just talking, just saying, you know what, captain, tell your man that if he does anything like that again, don't come up to me. I will do a straight yellow. Sometimes that would just ease the situation. You know what I mean? The referee's got. I said referee's got. He's got experience, and that photo I sent you of his wearing two kits. To me, you know, you see what happens with the next referee, shall we? Because I think it's constant.
You may or may not have seen the show yesterday. I did mention just doing a little bit of research about Stuart Atwell. He was banned from actually refereeing in the Premier League for 5 seasons for a string of horrendous decisions. I think it's 5 seasons banned. So he does come with that. There was a report, I think, comes from Sky Sports, where the Panthers were saying that, listen, Stuart Atwell, he lost control. He lost control, not only of the players, but also of his head. Making realistic and silly decisions. But it's why you got VAR. VAR should assist the referee, take the heat out of the situation, but it doesn't. It doesn't. Again, VAR, I think it works if you've got the right people working behind the scenes. And someone actually said as well that it's at Stokely Park, isn't it? Why don't they have like a room set up in the stadium so there's accountability rather than being in some no man's land where you can't get at them? But we need to hear, like in rugby, what is the communication? What is being said to the referee, and what is the referee saying to the guys in the VAR? Has to be consistent. If there's an incident, go over and see for not only one team but for both teams. But I think VAR works if you've got the right people at the controls, Ralph. It's the humans that are making the mistakes, Ralph.
Alex, again, you hit the nail right on the head. When it comes to, when it's rugby, the whole stadium can hear the referee, the reasons why he comes to that decision.
Yeah,
there's no arguments with the fans. All right, you may be a bit aggrieved, but I think you'll be more aggrieved at your player doing the infringement than you would be at the referee. The referee is giving his decision, and then it's down to the captains to talk to the teammates and say, look, we can't be giving away fouls anymore. We can't be giving away that because that referee is on us, and we're making it easy for him. Let's take the heat out of the situation. Let's focus on taking it back to the opposition and giving the referee nothing. The whole time you're giving the referee something, it makes his life easier. I'm talking about rugby now. When the game flows, okay, there's always going to be an infringement or something. The referee will say what it is. The players understand that, and the players will back off because it's for them to fix their faults. The fault is not on the referee. It's not on the officials. And the fans will say, you know what, actually, in discussion after you go for a pint or something or half time, it's that player, it's the tactics. It's hardly any talk is about the referee because the whole stadium knows what the referee has come up with, and you hear it. So when you're saying about it's in Stokely Park, we don't know what these guys do. They could be going out to get a sandwich in the hallway when the play goes on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we may be doing them a disservice, but at this moment in time, when it's all smoke and mirrors, then that's what's going to happen. If they're set up in a stadium, then there's no real getting away from the situation. Because you're going to hear the fans, but you're going to be more focused on the game at hand.
It's funny, Monty put out a tweet the other day saying Arsenal are the architects of their own downfall. And I got called out for bashing Granit Xhaka. I think I'm not bashing him. I'm just mentioning the facts of the matter. It's like at the centre or at the eye of the storm, it's almost always Granit Xhaka. Almost always him. I spoke about Martinelli, who had the opportunity to score maybe the goal this season. He had also another opportunity to square the ball, for, I think, Lacazette. He didn't. He had a shot on goal. So I'm not only highlighting Granit Xhaka. There were other, elements there. We just spoke about Gabriel. He got sent off. So I wasn't bashing. I was just mentioning Granit Xhaka because more often than not, you find that he's the guy. He plays on the edge, Ralph, doesn't he? Plays on
No,
the edge.
he plays over the edge because that's why he gets yellow carded or whatever. There's no edge with Granite. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. With Granite, it is what it is.
What it is.
And it
Yeah.
will always be that way. I know the baggage from a few seasons ago, so I'm not going to go there. Let's put it this way: we can clear it all up. We can clear everything up from last season, from last year. Look at the match as it was. Of all the people to get a card, it had to be him. It had to be him. Well, not just the card, for the incident that pretty much contributed to the change of the match was the penalty. There was no need for him to pull the shirt because the guy was going down anyway. You know what I mean? He was going nowhere. So he would have gone down anyway. Atwell would have said, was stuck to his decision. VAR would have said, okay, look at it. And then there's no hand on the shirt. There's no hand on the shirt. When you got, everyone puts a hand behind them, don't they, when the ball's played in the box?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, if you're challenging, then challenge with your hand like this and show the charge him or put your hand on the back of you. Don't give the referee or VAR anything in terms of, making it easy. But it's Granit. I'm sorry. It's him. It's not all on him, that match, but that penalty, it's on him.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. I just think, is there anything else we wanted to talk about? We spoke about Mick Arteta not being around, Gabriel, and the goal he eventually scored, and yeah. But what do you think about the 11? I thought the 11 was a good 11, wasn't it? The Ramsdale, Tomashu, White, Gabriel, Tierney, Partey, Xhaka, Saka, Odegaard, Martinelli, and Lacazette. I didn't like the fact that we took off Lacazette and put on Emerson Rowe. As I said on yesterday's show, with Smith Rowe, he's got that youth there, but I don't see much energy in his legs like I do with Lacazette. Lacazette will run and run and run, and I thought we'll probably miss a trick. We should have kept Lacazette on the pitch, but maybe it's probably hindsight. Hindsight is probably a wonderful thing, but yeah, that is it, man. That is it. So let's go into live chat. Again, there's no breaks anymore. Actually, before we get to live chat, let me just see if there's been any movement in regards to the poll. Now, the poll is in regards to officiating. Would you like to see European referees officiating in the Premier League? And the poll we put up yesterday, and let's see. Well, actually, the numbers have stayed the same. We've got 713 votes now. Still 2 comments and 31 likes, and 14% of the Canafoy TV family believes that we don't need to be seeing European referees in the Premier League, and 86% of you believe it's time to see European referees officiating in the Premier League. So let's go into the live chat and see who has joined us for this. What is it today? It's Monday, isn't it? You know what it is? It's like, this time of the year, you kind of think, what? Today seems like is it like a Saturday? But it is Monday.
3 days away from Axe's birthday.
Yeah. I'm going to be reminding you, Ralph. We're going to be talking after the show. Anyway. Colin Young says, good morning, Ralph. A good thing the manager picked Xhaka.
Happy New Year, Colin.
Is it, Ralph?
I think I've spoken this out.
Oh, dearie me. All right, okay. Good morning, Assemble. He says, good morning, Alex and Ralph. A VAR is being used in a negative way. For some odd reason, the VAR is frowned upon in England, which makes you wonder what the integrity of the game in England is. Ralph?
more conspiracy, more conspiracy theories.
Is it frowned
Everyone,
upon? Is it frowned upon? I think it's because of the way it's being utilized.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
referees in Europe, they go over to the screen. It's consistent. They go over to the screen and they look what's happened. The guy, Stuart Atwell, didn't.
No.
But is it frowned upon? I don't think it's frowned upon.
I think it's heavily scrutinized here. No, I don't think it's frowned upon. Frowned upon is that you just think, you know, it's the odd kind of incident. But Alex, it's happening every week. It's happening every week. I'm not just on about.
It's not only Arsenal, then, Ralph. It's not only Arsenal, then, is it?
No, that's what I'm saying. It's not. That's what I'm saying. It's not just us. If you look at the weekend or whenever, there's always some decision that VAR has played a part in that wasn't right, and the referee didn't act on it. But it's just the fact that I think if you look at percentages, I think we're getting the wrong side of that.
This is a funny one, Ralph. Had to be from Ashley. Bring in the sin bin so we can bin the referee for 10 minutes. Actually, 30 minutes.
It would be like school football, then, wouldn't it? Playground football. Everybody wants to be referee. Hey, well, that's offside. That's not offside. It's probably on.
The VAR is a product that is supposed to get the correct decisions. Remember, one bad decision can cost a club millions in revenue off the pitch, actually, and it can also, well, I think you're talking about like being relegated. I think that's what he's saying. The problem is the rules are as clear as mud at the moment. But why is it? It appears to be working all right in Europe, but not here in England. It's the way it's being used, the assembled. It's the humans. Anyway. Mubarak says, big up, guys. I'm questioning about our goalkeeper. He's not saved penalties. He doesn't stop the crucial penalties. Listen, I'm not about to go in on Ramsdale. Look at the amount of saves that he's done throughout the season. So I'm not going to, have any qualms about him not saving penalties. Ralph?
No, technical abilities. Let's put it this way. He's put Leno in the shade. The way that he's very passionate about goalkeeping, the way that he plays, his passes, his forward management, the way he talks to the defenders, he shouts at the team. This is the goalkeeper that we've been asking for the longest time. So for me, long may it continue, and his progression, and he's in the right place as well. Let's put it this way: all of us didn't think for one moment that he's going to be where he was, where he is now. Let's be honest. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
When we heard that he's come from like two teams that's been relegated, we were thinking, and at the time when we was like there, we were there. All of us were thinking, oh God, like, what more do we? And what he's done, to his credit, he just dug his heels in. He's come out with clean sheets, fantastic saves, and even the opposition fans try and wind him up, and he loves it. So, no, Ramsdale, you've converted me, mate.
Yeah, absolutely. Arsenal still lost. City's still got 3 points. Facts, isn't it? And Arsenal still got 0. We lost by less. We played well. VAR is an excuse as both teams had to deal with VAR. We lost the rest. The rest is an excuse. And that's what I said at the end of the day. That is the facts. We could debate about, Atwell and, the penalty decisions, but the fact remains that he didn't give the penalty for one, he gave for another, and we lost 2-1. But I'm not so downhearted because the players played very, very well. So I'd far rather focus on the positives rather than the negatives, Ralph. I'm just saying.
I have said for the longest time that I want our team to show up. Just show up. Show up. Play with the intensity. When you have the opportunity, take the opportunities. Yeah, we didn't take our opportunities. We played at home. It's that I think on the run of play, although I think that Man City may have had more possession, we run them ragged. We just didn't take our opportunities. But, and the big but is, if you've got tools for the job to make the job easier, and they're not applied, or they're not applied in the right way, then the team that didn't deserve to win won, and the team that did deserve to win lost. On the balance of play, if we took our chances, ifs, ands, buts, and maybes don't make anything. Yeah, you can have a look and say, you know what? Actually, the facts are we didn't take our chances. They did. They won. Okay. But the back of my mind is the fact that when you have a mechanism as VAR, when you've got the officials to make their lives easier, because we all clambered to have this technology in, and it's not working in the right way, then we have a right to argue. We have a right to argue. And when it works, we don't argue. When it doesn't work, we argue. Simple facts.
We're never happy. We're never happy. Ross Morgan, good morning to you. Actually, happy New Year, bro. Says VAR should be at the ground, like we said earlier, not at some place miles away from people who could have an agenda about one of the clubs playing. That's true. Yeah, accountability. And who was it? It was Keith Hackett actually who actually said that. You know, Stokely Park should be closed, and VAR should be set up in the stadium. There's no need for it to be located in an anonymous location. Well, not anonymous location because we're not at Stokely Park, but yeah, just to take away that the faceless people have some accountability, and there's no reason for it not to be in the stadium. I mean, you see how many crews are from across the world, literally, commentating on the match. So there's no reason why it cannot be in the stadium. But Ashley says that Xhaka is a clumsy oaf with no tackling skills at all. I'm saying nothing, man. Colin says, guys, I called Jeff would cost us the big games 2 weeks ago when he came straight back into the starting 11, and that's what you would get even when he plays well. I had this debate maybe 2 seasons ago, and someone was saying to me, but you got to think, Alex, Xhaka is our best midfielder. I said, well, if he's our best midfielder, is it any wonder why we've got problems? If he's our best midfielder, that says a lot, doesn't it? So we need to upgrade on Granit Xhaka. But I've got to be careful what I say. I don't want to be, being told I'm bashing Granit Xhaka, Ralph. But
like you said before, Alex, when we play well, everyone gets a shout. When we don't play well, everyone gets a shout. The team played well, but there's individual errors. We can talk about Martinelli. Martinelli should have scored. Should have scored.
Exactly.
It's an open goal.
Exactly.
The only defender he had to beat was Atwell, because Atwell came in front of him. I've never seen a referee move so quickly, right, in the 6-yard box and then and pull back out. You know what I mean? He forgot himself. He forgot himself. But no, that's just the way it is. I just I hate saying that term. I want to change that. I want to say, at this moment in time, we have to be very careful. We don't want to bash Xhaka. Yeah, we did have a little run when he didn't play in the team. So let's talk about that.
Yeah. Yeah. In the heat of the battle and most of the hard work was done, Xhaka does what he does, and Gabriel got emotional. He did, didn't he? He just let the blood rush to his head, which makes you know Gabriel was annoyed at Xhaka. Really? Was he annoyed? I don't. Was he?
No, I don't. I think he was more annoyed at the fact that the referee was going to send him off. because I think the first yellow was dissent. This is
Yeah,
the thing.
yeah,
When you argue at the ref, there's a way of arguing with the referee, and there's a way to talk to the referee. You know what? There's a documentary about Arsenal and Man United. I'm trying to remember what channel it was on. I picked up on YouTube. Um, the Man United players, I think it's Scholes and um, Neville, said that how the reason why they felt that they can get at Arsenal was because Arsenal had a few weak players, he said, and also they knew how to talk to the referee.
mm, mm,
Now, listen to that. They knew how to talk to the referee. They didn't shout, although in some matches they did shout when they didn't get it their way, but they
exactly.
knew how to put the referee under pressure. And I think that is what us as Arsenal, the Arsenal team, need to do. They need to have one or two generals in the team to say, you know what, when things start going a bit sideways, let's put the pressure in the right way to the referee. Because when you give the referee a bit of doubt in his mind, then he will act in the way that you want him to
Want
act.
him to? Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
understand me? So that's the thing. We always talk about Arsenal playing football in the right way. We don't need to have the referee if we're playing in the right way. Well, yeah, that's right, but you have to have a bit of nous about you as well. You have to understand that if the referee is consistently getting something wrong, talk to him. He's human. He may not want to listen, but if you talk to him or you talk to the linesman, then at some point they're going to have that conversation. I think that's where Arsenal need to be a bit more tactically aware. Talk to the referee. If you shout at the referee, he's going to block it straight out. But if you
Yeah.
talk to him to manipulate him, and another dark arts kind of like skill there. If you talk to him, then he will start saying, well, you know what, actually, okay, I'll give you a decision or two. And that's what Man United did all through their time. They talked to the referee, and they did it in a pack mentality. You know what I mean? Or it was keen.
Mm,
Us,
mm,
we're all like this. We're all over the place. You know what I mean?
yeah,
We have to
yeah,
start being a bit more tactically aware about how we can manipulate the referee.
yeah. It's funny. I did mention that yesterday. Actually, I said that with some players, some players just don't want to get involved in that and the
Mm.
fracas with the referee, and you find there's some other players who want to be the ones to go and talk or maybe shout at the referee. We need somebody in between those two characters there to kind of calm things down and be like the more, let's say, statesmanship. Like, I don't know, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's like we blew hot and cold in that moment there when that moment called for cool, calm heads. And Gabriel will learn. He will learn, Ralph. But
Yeah.
to say that he was upset, I don't think he was upset or annoyed at Shaka. I
No.
just think he just wasn't thinking. He wasn't
No.
thinking, you know.
If he was thinking, he was realised, hang on now, I'm on the first yellow. So let me that's another bit of being tactically aware as well. When you're
Yeah,
on the yellow, you start pulling back a little bit. You don't go into challenges to give the referee any kind of like reason to pull out a second. You
exactly.
start having a conversation with your teammates, saying, and your teammates should also think, flipping out. You know what? This is a really crucial point in the match. We're on top, but Man City are coming back at us a little bit. Let's just be a bit more defensive. Let's just make sure the ball's at their end, so they have to come through us. Let's try and wind the clock down a little bit,
Yeah,
and let's have the
yeah.
conversation with the referee. Let's talk to the referee. All those kind of things eat up the clock. And what
Mm,
you find is that when you're trying to win, but you're losing, you start getting a bit more agitated as well if you're not calm.
yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? So yeah, Gabriel will learn, but it's not the first time he's been sent off.
Exactly.
So he should be learning.
Agree, Granit Xhaka shouldn't have given the referee a decision to make, but it's clear to everyone that Silva was already going over. He should be given Tom Daly's gold medal. Well, Barrett says, big up, guys. I'm on Ramsdale. We lost Man United. He could have saved that pen. Everton last gasp shot, he could have saved it, and Man City's second goal, which is stoppable, yet no one is questioning Ramsdale. Again, I'm not going to get on his back. I mean,
the second goal was a mess. It was a mess. It should have been stopped earlier from midfield. We lost the ball in midfield for the second goal.
Hmm.
So everyone's culpable. When the ball is that close, it's all easy to say that. But I'm not gonna go on Ramsdale. If
Yeah,
anybody's
yeah,
if anybody is disappointed, Ramsdale definitely would be. Ramsdale definitely would be. So he'd be thinking about what's the best way to get the defense in areas that when there is a threat, he knows what he's got to do, and the defenders know what Ramsdale's going to do.
yeah. I'm not going to go in hard on him because
No.
I think he's done wonders for us. 90% of referees in the Premier League were born in north of Birmingham. Not sure if that has anything to do with it. And like I said, that if we had referees who were from other parts of Europe, we wouldn't have that comment there. It doesn't.
Yeah.
It wouldn't. It couldn't lead to us thinking, you know what? Actually, he lives near North London, so he must fancy Tottenham in a North London derby. So if we had referees who were far away from any part of England, we wouldn't have that debate there. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
But
But
we also got to make sure we don't want referees that want to make a name for themselves as well. Because I remember there was Rennie,
yeah,
and like some of his decisions were just like wild,
yeah.
and people saying, "Oh, he's just doing it because he's a bit of an ego." I'm thinking, well, no, he probably is. He's probably sort that out. Sort that
Nice
out.
Dearie me. What's happening in breaking news? Not so much breaking news. We're going to do transfer news, but we're not going to have enough time for that. Mason Powell. Hello, guys. Xhaka should be in his last game in an Arsenal shirt. Enough is enough with this geezer. Xhaka out. All right. Just a few more. Des says Ramsdale has fitted in so quickly. Raz is right. Just shows the back four in front of him were rubbish to get him relegated twice. He has a good future at Arsenal. Well said, Des. And moderators remind everyone, hit the thumbs up, guys. And remember to subscribe and invite your mates to watch. We need to get to next target 25,000 subs.
It's all possible.
It is. It is. How is Xhaka in over Sambi? Because Albert Sambi contracted COVID, so he's been in isolation, and so has Pablo Mane. So that's the reason why we have not seen. That'll be part of the reason why we've not seen Sam Lokonga play. But that's the reason. That's the reason. I'm surprised the ref didn't take the penalty for City. He did everything else. Okay, thank you for that, Des. And guys, we have an exceptionally young team, but we made City look normal for long periods. Yes, we made mistakes, the same mistakes that have been happening for years, but we played well. And that's what I said, Russ. I want to focus on the positive, how the players played. Can we match that performance when we play against Liverpool, Ralph?
I don't see why not. I don't see why not. 2 legs. Just you have to go for it. Go hell for leather. It's a cup game. Liverpool looked a bit shaky against. They played against Chelsea, didn't they?
Yeah.
That was a match and a half as well. So I don't see why not. It's just, to me, there's a lot more fixtures within the next 3 weeks. So it may play in our hands. It may not. But just go for it. It's a cup game. Who knows? If anything, when I get back to work, I'm gonna have quite a few Liverpool fans pull on me. So it'd be good to stick one on them, as we say. Stick one on them.
Well, this is the fixture list anyway. There's the fixture list. So yeah, got Liverpool. Then we got them down the road. They've got Burnley. And then we're going to February, but we're not thinking about February just yet.
One match at a time.
Absolutely. Just a few more guys before we wrap up this one. I just saw something here. Uh, have you noticed that no one says anything to Shaka when he makes his errors? It's just a set. My question is why. Well, actually, the same thing I noticed with Aubameyang when he missed those chances there. Nobody could say anything to him. Nobody could even look at him.
I
Why
would.
is that, Ralph?
I would say something. I would. Boy, no, not enough words. To be honest, I'll be, especially if you're missing hitters, I'll be on your case. I'll be on your case, man. I'll say, how can you miss that? And we pay you how much? That's what I'll be saying. And with Xhaka, I'll just be looking at it. Actually, remember our dad and anyone with West Indian parents. If you made a mistake once, just once, don't forget twice, just once, you get the look. I remember one time I was praying for the school. I was praying for my school. I begged our dad to come and watch me, and it was on the cinder pitch at Barnsley Park, and he came. I was shocked that he actually turned up. He came. I tried to do this trick. I was trying to nutmeg this guy. I remember, and I ended up on the seat of my pants, and he just looked at me to say like, "Boy, what are you doing?" And for the whole evening, he was talking to me about that you don't do that. As we get on, I begged my dad to come and watch me, and he's lecturing me about landing on my rear end. But he just gave the look, you know. That's what I would have done. That's what I've done to Shaka.
Happy New Year, also, Alex. It's a Happy New Year to you guys and everyone here. I hope you're all well. Yes, we are. Thank you for that. Just for the last few, going for an hour and 2 minutes. Man City fans say it's the hardest they have been pressed all season. Yeah, I did see that comment there. Harlex says, I think we lack proper leadership. Some of the leaders groups are the ones letting us down. Got Static is in the house.
Hey.
This is hey Alex and Ralph, and hey to you, brother Static. And Static just remind everyone, guys, 16 likes. Only 16 likes. Hit the likes button, please, and subscribe. And he also says, Ralph, I love your stories.
Got plenty more. Got plenty more. But I appreciate that, Static. I hope you and your family is having had a good Christmas and a really safe and prosperous New Year.
And on that note, guys, we've come to an end on this morning show. It's now afternoon. 14 minutes after the hour of midday GMT time. I'm going to be back later on this evening. I think it's going to be a little bit of a tetchy one. Need to limber up for that one, man.
Get the old vapor rubber.
The deep heat. God damn,
I'm fit.
All right, guys. So yes, I don't have much more to say. Then I will be back later on this evening, 5:30 p.m. I'm going to be joined by Elto, Richard Godfather, Daniel Day-Lewis, Paul, and who else? Oh yeah, brother Isaac. Yeah, just kind of reliving that game there, Man City. Just seems like let it go, just let it go.
This is just the warm-up, Alex.
I know, Ralph. I know. Anyway, thanks for coming back, Ralph. And,
no problem.
You let me know when's your next available next watch along. As well, like my brother said, there's going to be like a competition because we've just surpassed 15,000 subscribers. So thank you guys.
Yeah.
On Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Thank you guys. Thank you for that. So that is it. So enjoy the rest of your day wherever you are in this world. If you are like on that part of the world where Asiatic countries, you probably like just catch you some Z's. If you're on that side of the planet, North, Central, South America, you're probably just waking up. It'll probably be like 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. If you're somewhere in the middle with both my brother and myself, God help you. All right. Until then, guys, you have been listening to Cannon Fodder, the channel for Arsenal fans all over